Hello and welcome back to Remnant from the Ashes. Last time we ended up beating Singe and coming to this glorious desolate planet Rhom. And now we made our way back from the point we got to by wood, and we're going to do this dungeon right behind me. I just wanted to look at the skybox because between the ancient ruins, the current settled ruins, and then the blocked out sun, it looks really cool. Let's dive in here, see what denizens are inside. Goop. I think I know this dungeon. Right off the top of my head, this looks familiar. Yep. It's the one I thought it was. Okay. Yep. Citadel's Curse. This is effectively a timed fight that you have to just get to the end before the curse kills you. I mean, if we want to be kind of cheeky here, toss on Mender's Charm, just so my healing is even more effective. It brings me up to my ring doing 0.8 HP per second. Which currently, I mean, I'm fine. Even with Bloodwort wearing off, I can just stall and chug a Bloodwort and it'll just top me back up real quick. These are all breakable. Keep that in mind, these places actually have a ton of cash in them. A lot of people just ignore them for some reason. I'll admit, for the most part, I'm gonna ignore them because I have like 30, 40 grand. I don't care about like the ring that lets me die. Because if I die, I die. Odds are if I'm dying, it's either I'm out of position or I've already screwed the fight up and I don't want to sit around and be like, oh, I'll try to recover, because it saves you and leaves you at like 1 HP. So, not like I'm really winning at that moment. Yeah, I cleared all this. Yeah, those things. This whole area loves giving you enemies that explode and leave lingering radiation damage. It makes sense, making every region have, like, the one element. Being like, hey, this is the blank zone. Oh, that thing. Yeah, the, like, gun carrier. I don't feel like dealing with that all too much. They are scary if you decide to try to face them head on. Yay, decontamination! Wait a second, does that? Okay, yeah, so this area just... Okay, it doesn't heal you. I thought it would just keep healing me. I was like, oh, that's cool. It's kind of a rest spot, but nope. No rest for the wicked. I will say, I do think this environment in this dungeon is really cool. Because who would have sat down and be like, ah yeah, let's have a dungeon that just puts the players on a kill timer. Well, it's not even really a kill timer, it's just you continually take damage. regardless, I think it's cool. It's a fun challenge that, as you can see, you can play around it. If you have a bit of healing, you can completely negate it and be fine. If I had Aslan's ring, I bet I could probably flat out heal out of the damage. Because that combined with Blood Font and my current necklace that gives extra healing. God, need to reload everything. Slap that bad boy down. Oh, yep, that thing. Yeah, this dungeon is kind of giving you the zoo experience. You get to see every little hazard this area has to offer. Now we just need the other, they're the Buri, the wild men. We just need the hive head guys, the guys with guns, and then all the skulls, and that covers like everything this area has. They didn't pull any punches with bombarding you with all the enemies. Ah, glowing rods. Those we use for something. You plug them in, I think, at the end of this dungeon, or at the end of some dungeons for rewards.
Not enough room.
I don't exactly remember, because you can get multiple, and there's multiple slots. I've just never sat down and actually tried to, like, farm out multiples to see if they give you something more if you put them all in. I don't think so. Because I think they wouldn't, because each of these dungeons is kind of a self-contained thing. And while some dungeons and some encounters are dependent on other dungeons and other encounters, I feel like they wouldn't want to do too many of those, because then it makes some of these runs really annoying. Ooh, the Wastelander Flail. So we can take this off and go back to our Gunslinger. But the Wastelander Flail, this one's kind of neat. It's a flail. And that's about it. I like it. Lower crit chance, but it's fine. It does just fine damage as is. Yeah, the Petrified Maul, it deals rot, but I don't like rot. It's not a very useful status effect to inflict on enemies. Like, at least Corrosive increases damage enemies take by 5% per stack. That works, that makes sense. But Rot and Radiation just don't do anything. God, I hate that guy. See, that's why I'd love for some weapon mods, because I'd love to have, like, a slug for a shotgun, so that it deals, like, increased stagger, and I could just sit there, pump a slug into that guy's chest, and have it stagger him out of his charge. Because that's really what I need, is a charge breaker. Because there are far too many enemies who... they're able to just press you unchallenged. That's kind of why the Devastator crossbow is so good, is because that alt fire is just, hey, do you want 300% stagger for free? Like, yeah, I'll gladly take free stagger. Yeah, sucks the turrets actually go for, like, headshots. Because when it hits these guys, it just doesn't do anything. I kind of want to go for the armor pen trait, but its usefulness is very limited, I feel. Especially when it's percentage based. Because I don't know if it's ignoring a percent of the enemy armor, or it's just increasing my damage by that percent. Because if I'm increasing, you know, my 5 damage by 20%, I'm dealing 6 damage. And I'll tell you here now, 20 levels for a point of damage is not worth the time or effort. If that's the case, you're getting hoed. Flat out. But if it's 20% of the damage, so instead of 95%, it's 75%, that's better. That can... it's going to reduce the damage by a lot more, or it's going to reduce my damage by a lot less than just giving me an extra point. Alright, oh wow, 7. Okay, so Invoker's done. See, what we can do here, so we're at 388.9. We'll start doing Bark Skin. We went up 21 points through 6% effectiveness. That's pretty solid. I don't like how quiet it is here. I know this area. There are enemies. Yeah, like they're all way over there. Alright, whatever. I'll leave my turrets active then, because they'll deal with them while I try to find the staircase. And even though I have all my stuff that I need realistically leveled outside of needing simulacrums, I'm still gonna get all the money and all the medals as possible. Because who knows, maybe I'll get bored and be like, hey, we're gonna run an adventure and pick just a random weapon. Honestly, that sounds kind of fun. Doing just random weapons and running through a location. I'll set up like a little wheel with locations and just be like, yep, the wheel decides my fate. I'll actually need a couple wheels to do weapon and then location. Armor I'll just kind of pick whatever. Because really the only like build specific thing I have that's not useful in every build is summon damage. Yeah, this whole area is a little busy.
That was rough.
Oh, I was on the Remnant subreddit just to see if anybody had any news for Remnant 2. One, everybody says just go to the Discord because they actually get like exclusive info. Reddit doesn't get anything, which it's kind of funny seeing Reddit is in a way dying because of that. All the devs have kind of shifted their Discords, and it's like, yeah, they're probably a little less toxic than Reddit. But there was a person who's like, oh yeah, I'm ready for Remnant 2. One character had 1,000 hours. And I was just sitting there going, what do you do in this game on a single character for 1,000 hours? Like, I can guarantee you are max level. You could, within 1,000 hours, I know you can get max level gear. You would probably have max level everything. The only thing I could see is running just the random gen mode. short of that, like, you don't have anything left to do. Did we get a name of this location? I didn't even pay attention. Ah, skull. The burrows. I can't remember if this leads to the bunker or not. Because if it leads to the bunker, then I know what boss we're fighting. I mean, it's one of two bosses, so it's kind of easy, but I know, like, if it's the bunker, I know how to fight that boss. And this build kind of, not entirely hard counters, but the turrets will just dumpster him. Oh, there's a radiation skull. Ah, more bug guys. Bug guys aren't bad, they're just annoying. And there's a actual boss version who is even worse. Oh, I also found out, I was looking on the wiki, or the wiki dot for this, because Wikia and fandom and whatever, those are deader than Elvis. But, like, oh no, it's not Wikia, it's the Fextra Life. Oh, Radiation Wizard. This guy's so annoying. Hate radiation wizards.
That was rough.
But I had looked up the boss modifiers, because I was like, what are these? Regenerator, pretty basic, it's like 0.05% HP per second. One of them gives them like 33% more health, one does like 33% more damage, one can stagger more. But there's only like 5 modifiers. I found that out and I was kind of surprised, because it feels like something that should have been expanded on. But I also get there's not a lot you can do. Because you can't... This isn't like Diablo in the sense that you can just very easily add all these different traits, because you don't have all the different... all the different, like, mini-bosses that you can encounter. You're pretty set in stone as to what you fight and how you fight them. Okay. I'm going to drink one of these just to cure my radiation and give me a little extra resist. I usually don't do that, but this place sucks. And the radiation wizards can suck it. But yeah, like, if they had proper randomly spawning mini-bosses, they could do more. You could have like, oh, half health or 3/4 health, but you spawn 2 to 3 of them, or Soulbound, where you have to bring the, like, you can bring them to 0 HP, but they'll still be alive until you bring all of them to 0 HP. And stuff like that I hope they really expand on in Remnant 2, because I thought the system was cool. It just didn't get enough attention and enough work to really go where I think it needed to go.
It's over.
That said, I don't expect a ton of changes for Remnant 2. I expect it to more or less be the same game with the existing changes they've shown, like classes. Short of that, I can't imagine they're really going to change. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to change too much. Too much deviation in a game no longer feels like a sequel. At those points, it feels more like you made a separate game and just wanted to bank on the name. Which can be a very bad thing. Even if that's not the intent, if people get it in their head, that can be bad. Okay, Brutal Mark, yeah, I have that one. That one is... yeah, after a minute, increases damage by 25% against enemies who are below 50%. It's not bad. It's one where I'd say if you're a high damage, low DPS build, you know, kind of a nuker, it's great. You just get your team to whittle the boss down to half health, and then you just go nuts and fry them. But if you're doing more of a sustained damage kind of deal, then it's not the best look. Yeah, these turrets, they more than pay for themselves. Gotta say, it's nice playing solo. I can actually get all the ammo. I'm not sitting here having to go fight with someone else or sit there use a pistol because the other person uses primary and then they switch to their pistol, so then I have to switch off it, otherwise we fight for pistol ammo. Yeah, I really hope they do something about that. Even if it was you get half the ammo, if someone else picks it up, I would take it. Because that's better than having to suffer through guys who fire 2 bullets, reload, take the next thing of ammo. It's like, dude, we could have got a lot more out of that. Alright, what boss are we looking at? Or is this the dog? This could be the dogs. That would be a different one. Either way, more armor. Give me another 5 points. The less damage I take, the better. Oh, it's the dogs! Okay, so there's a lot to go with this one.
Quiet down. You wake the pack. I won't be blamed for what happens if you do.
Yo, guy, I'm sitting, like... oh, I have to... there, now I can sit down and talk to him.
Shouldn't be here. The pack kills on sight. No exceptions. Then again, it is good to see a new face. Or any face. Sit, but be quiet. If the pack decides you're meat, I have to side with them. They are my family, and they like my healthful slop. I could sell you some, if you like. Don't worry, it tastes better than it smells.
Yeah, it's... people will say that the Houndmaster's jerky is really good. I think it's okay. Once you get the consumable last longer trait, it's nice because that's like a 20% boost. So that's a good, like, 12 minutes, I think. But I'm not gonna get it.
For the conversation. Oh, and quiet
So
now.
you can either walk around, you just can't run, and you're fine. The boss never triggers. Or, you see this weird thing in this guy's face? That keeps him protected. What you can do is, if you shoot him in the face hard enough, you can actually break it. But you have to shoot him in the face. Oh my god, this guy just doesn't want to die. There. Now it's broken. So now, the boss will actually kill him too. Unless you just beat him to death, I guess. That works too. Well, the few times I actually have to use my heals. Yeah. You just gotta beat down Maul. Yo, can I get, like, some mobility here, game? Instead of just getting, like, stagger locked? There. Now we got the control rod.
That was rough.
So now we can go back to wood. And the ruined guy half sunken in the sand, we can now put that inside of him to trigger him. And you also get a beast collar from killing the dog, Maul. Which one is it? I have it. Howler's immunity. Projects a 20-meter aura that moves with the caster and reduces incoming damage to all allies by 24.5%. So, max it out, max the weapon, 25%. Is it good? It works. I find most of the time you're not really going for... Like, you need sustain and damage mitigation, but most fights are less of a mitigation kind of deal and more of a DPS check. You need to be able to burn down the enemy instead of trying to, like, monkey around with anything else, more or less. But I think I'm going to call it here. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit the like button. It helps out the channel a lot. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.